Coming to you live at 1100 hours 54 minutes, Monday, September 16th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope you're gonna start your week off good. I always say this: don't look at your Monday as the day after you enjoyed yourself, because the 2 days was for rest and relaxation, and to get some things done. And I say this too: if you work at a company, it's called PTO, paid time off. Use your paid time off. Stop trying to say I'm going to save it for next year or get it bought back. No, utilize that, because you're learning. And learning, as you get a little older, you get wiser, right? And your body change a little bit. You're not out there doing those same things that you was doing when you was 25. I'm 36 now. I'm not old. People are like, oh, you old. When you going to have children, this, and that. I haven't found the right woman, because I know I'm the right man. So at the same time, what I be doing is I take care of myself. I do all the things I gotta do. And one of the things that we don't talk about real quick, we don't talk about taking care of our body. When you in pain, you keep moving, right? Why? If something is loose, something is out of, it's not together, it's not put right. What do? You try to put it back together, right? We try to see what the cause is. Well, if you constantly moving and you don't give yourself an opportunity to catch up with your body, to catch up with you, how you gonna help your body? How you gonna be prepared for the next year? The next year, you're gonna be always in recovery system, and that's what you don't want to do. Always in recovery. So I want to leave it at that. And today I want to talk about the sports talk series and maybe something else. It depends what comes up. And I've been working on trying to stay more on topic. I've been recording myself. I got some recordings, and I've really been listening to myself and try to stay more on topic. So the sports talk series, as you know, is geared and honored towards us African descendant men. And I want us to start reviewing everything as we would view our lives. And I want to talk about in the sports talk series, African descendant quarterbacks in the NFL. First, I want to start off. We all know can you name some African descendant quarterbacks in the NFL? Name some. I hope you said Randall Cunningham and Warren Moon. Two good, excellent black African, what we call black. I use the word African descendant quarterbacks in the NFL that played were very great. We never talk about their championship. And another thing, let's talk about coaches. We never talk about the coaches. And what I've been noticing is finally we have quarterbacks now. And if you go down the line, we have Vince Young was a quarterback. More recent, Tyron. He played for the Bills, and he went to the Browns. Then we have Cordell Stewart. He was a quarterback in the 90s. He was a quarterback growing up, but he got to the NFL. He had to learn, and he did a great job. Took to the Steelers to the AFC Championship. But just as a team and as a whole, he wasn't playing bad. He was doing pretty good. He was launching 30-yard passes. He was launching nickel and dime passes, 5 and 10 yards. Doing pretty good. The team at that time, they didn't find a quarterback. They stuck with Cordell Stewart. And I thought he did a grand job of taking over that position as a quarterback. But still, he wasn't highlighted. He wasn't geared towards a quarterback. So they didn't talk about him. You had Dante Culpepper, rest his soul. He had died in an accident with his short-lived girlfriend and everything. And just be mindful who you sleeping with. Get to know the women. I'm no longer gonna really, and that's why I don't want to play those recordings. But it's coming out of my system. I'm getting out of my system. Just stop. We gonna stop talking about the women. I want to stick to us. I want to hold us accountable and responsible for our actions. I don't care what a woman say and does. That's on her. If she don't want to look at herself in the mirror and reflect and say, I made a bad decision, let that be on her. But for us men, we gonna reflect in the mirror and say, we made a bad decision. Let me be responsible for my action. Let me be accountable. Let me hold myself to it stronger. So this is what these quarterbacks are doing now. And I want to start saying with Colin Kaepernick. And we're going to talk about, remember, okay, going to the quarterbacks. We have Michael Vick, great quarterback. He got caught up in the scheme, and they knew that. I feel as that was BS too. And we had Donovan McNabb, Dante Culpepper, rest his soul, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham. And now we got the new batch of African descendant quarterbacks. We had E.J. Manuel for the Buffalo Bills. We had Teddy Bridgewater play for the Minnesota Vikings. We have Jameis Winston. They're in the league right now, the NFL, National Football League Association. And who else I'm leaving out? Jameis Winston. Robert played with the Redskins. But it seemed as we didn't last, because if you watch our little league games in the leagues we play, the young men are great. They're good at defense and offense too. We got guys. I remember my brother played against Mike Williams. He made it to the NFL, played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a little while, and he played for the Buffalo Bills for a little while. He's in the NFL still. He just got to maturate and get better. That's it. And who else? Okay, that's who I can recall right now. And I want to get into this real quick. And then we got Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson. And we have, now if you do, I brought up Colin Kaepernick. This are mixed African descendant men. We got Patrick Mahomes, Colin Kaepernick, Dak Prescott, and Russell Wilson. They're not full-blown African descendant. They're mixed. So they kind of count, and then they don't count. They count for both sides. And out of all the quarterbacks, the oldest quarterback, Randall Cunningham has a ring with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Russell Wilson, the mixed quarterback, has a ring with the Seattle Seahawks. Two bird teams. And I'm going to align those two soon. Let the spirit come to me. And I want to talk about the highlighting of quarterbacks. You know, in sports, the greatest player of all that get mentioned around the world is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, played the Chicago Bulls. And he has 6 NBA championships. And then you highlight the next greatest player. But the greatest player of all is Wayne Gretzky in hockey. He's 1,000 goals ahead of any player now and present. I don't know how close he got. Got to check on that and come back to you and give you those stats. I don't think anyone have came close to Wayne Gretzky of scoring 1,000 goals. He's 1,000 goals. Just think about that. 1K, 1,000 goals ahead of every player in hockey that ever played and touched the hockey stick for professional hockey and probably even amateur hockey. Think about that. It's 1,000 goals ahead of everybody. But then the Tom Brady and the Michael Jordan came along. They have we're gonna go back. The greatest player of basketball of all time is Bill Russell. If we counting rings, that's how we do it. If we gonna count and say he the greatest based on that, that's the rings. And then there's a tie in the NBA. It's Michael Jordan and Lou Alcindor, formerly Lou Alcindor, known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's the greatest basketball player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because from amateur and middle school or high school into the NBA professional career, he's done the best out of every player that ever played. He has a record that hold from beginning of basketball to the end of basketball of his career, and even till now. But the guy that has the most rings is Bill Russell. So in football, we look at the quarterback position. It's the same as similar to baseball. They hold a lot of the weight. But you can draw up game plans in football where you can take the weight off the quarterback. And the one thing about African descendant quarterbacks in Little League that I've been watching, we run the ball. We run. We don't really throw out and run up set plays and passes. So when I'm coach, I will tell the guys, let's throw more passes. Because sometimes you gotta get the other team defense guessing. If I keep, unless they just can't stop you, because it's a big, every level of football and to the pros, there's a differential of skill gap. It's a skill gap, because a lot of the young men are still learning plays. They're still learning their bodies, so if you think about that, the plays, the movements, the routes, the people they're around, then learning your body, it's going to be a skill gap. The young man might be super fast, but what happened when he meet another super fast guy? And that's what's happening with us in sports. We're finally catching up. See, we didn't have that caliber. We're raising our sons now. If we're going to play the sport, we might as well play the sport in all positions. We raising quarterbacks. Now they saying, oh man, this guy Tom Brady going to be the greatest. See, he's the greatest because he got 6 rings. But if you look at his stats, he's not the greatest. He still haven't surpassed Dan Marino and Steve Young. He finally just passed Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham, which they don't talk about. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, but those guys just has been solid because they've been able to play on the team longer. And Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham was pocket quarterbacks. So now I'll bring that up because I haven't watched football even before the Kaepernick took the knee. It was like a year and a half before that. During half of the one season, and when it's 20, because Kaepernick took it in 16, so like 2014, I was like, I'm done with football. I just kept watching them cheat, but the spirit was working with me. And you can ask my brother, you can ask anybody I know. I was telling people how many yards was going to be in the Super Bowl and how many touchdowns, and I was telling people to score. And when people was seeing me, they was like, how did you know that? Because I said the spirit worked with me. And I don't care what no one say. I don't care if somebody say you don't have something in you and you do. Just keep working it. Don't worry about what no one says. That goes along with the sport. But I tell you, and I brought up the body, young men, take care of your bodies. Nobody, if you hurt, that's right now, we got Cam Newton. He's playing bad because he hurt his shoulder. He should be resting right now or had surgery. But he's trying to prove points and he's trying to still play. I don't know why, for what. He don't have nothing to prove to me. I know he hurt. We know he hurt. But since you out there, the name of the game is, if you out there, you gotta play. There is no excuses. But if you sit down and do what you have to do to rest so you can be better, because Cam Newton was up for the MVP so many years ago. They went to the Super Bowl. And the reason I stopped watching sports, and that one of the main reasons, because we all know the sports are rigged. Pay them to lose. You can't pay me enough. You can't pay me to lose. I'm sorry. I'm the type of person is, if I'm out there, you can't pay me. But the thing is, now we don't pay you to lose. You can pay people around me, and I'm not down with that. I don't want to be on no. I don't want to play nothing with you, or do anything. And my sister has said that my morals of who I am. I don't want to do anything. If I know they can pay a guy off, I don't want to play. She said I gotta check that more, and I'm working on that. The creator know. I don't want to be around nobody that you can pay to lose. What kind of life is that? I can pay you to lose, and it's okay. It's okay for you to lose. That's crazy to me. And I wouldn't want to play with a lot of people that way. But right now we got a black quarterback, African descendant young man. Is playing very well. He improved a lot from last year to this year, named Lamar Jackson. And that's a rare form that we see from African descendant men. And I want you to, if you watch football, take the journey, take the time out to focus on Lamar Jackson. Watch his game, analyze him. And what I do in sports, when people start talking about who's better and who's not, it's an individual account. Remember this. Anything you do is an individual account. I don't care how many men, how many women do this, they do that. What your life look as? I don't care how much money they make. I don't care what he or she did last night. No, I care about you. Know who you should care about? You. Because your focus is your life. Because when you stop seeing them or they're not around you, just as a person had asked me, one more thing had asked me the other day about somebody else I was in a relationship with. I said I don't focus on that. I don't worry about that because my relationship with me, the creator, my mother, my side of the family, or even my single relationship with if I got a friend, my friends, my loved ones, or even that person's side of the family. I don't worry about a lot of things because it's my personal relationship. And if you look at our relationship, and if you look at it sports, make sure you are okay. Make sure you are mentally okay. Make sure you are physically okay. And don't allow people to deter you to do things that you wouldn't do on your own. Would you play hurt? Would you go to work hurt? And then for myself, for me, I can afford, in a per se, we say it this way, but I can't afford to get hurt. Because I walk, I use my hands and my arms and my legs. So I hope my words helped you, young men and women out there, especially us brothers. We are getting better at skills we wasn't good at. But don't allow the world to deter you. And as I've been telling you, brothers, they've been trying to put us in extinction. We keep saying the African descendant race is going out of extinction. That's not what they're trying to put extinction of. They're trying to make us extinct, brothers. Us. The type of brothers that care about each other. That care about their mothers. That care about their brothers. Care about the brothers that's not their blood brothers. That care about the women and want to have them see them in a good light. That want to see dark-skinned women, light-skinned African descendant women all work together, loving each other, be in one community, get resources, get assets so we can have inheritance. That's who they want to get rid of. Even I don't worry about the brothers that want to go out their race. I had thought I don't mind if I meet a woman for love. This is the key thing, brothers. I want to talk to you real quick about this. If you go out your race, make sure it's love. I don't put up with no bullshit. No bullshit. You got an ugly attitude? I'm not talking to her. I don't care what her race is. If she can't keep a house, I don't care what her race is. If she don't know how to be a woman, I don't care what her race is. I'm not settling for less, brothers. We not settling. Control your dicks. Watch who you put your seed in. We're tired of watching us do that and us not being fathers. I'm about to get into that in a minute. So what I say unto one, I say unto all. It's our path, it's our journey, it's our choice. Choose wisely, brother. You got to focus. It is sports. Purpose, mission, and your position as a quarterback. We coming into an age where we about to be good quarterbacks. But don't allow people to deter you. If you in position at your job, if you in position in your household, hold that position. Hold down the fort, as we say it. Be strong, be wise. And brothers, crescendo.